We today. Oh, I don't want that to show that background. All right, so you can't see the lives before you do it. So I don't want that to show. So check this out. First of all, I hope y'all are having a good day. And today we're going to talk about Married to Medicine season 9. We haven't talked, too much about it. I did a review maybe a couple of weeks ago, but it's like they haven't given me too much to pull from. So before we get into the video, if you like the video, definitely like the video below, subscribe to the channel, and comment below so we can keep this conversation in rotation. Okay. All right. So first of all, I don't feel that this season has given us a lot, other than the Dr. Heavenly and Contessa fight. Now, before it was Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone, which Dr. Simone has stepped it up this season with her fashions, her hair, and just, you know, I don't feel that the girls really need a storyline at this point. Like after you've been on the air for 5 years, I don't think you need a storyline. So I don't feel that Simone has a strong storyline, even though she's throwing these parties and everything. But Simone was definitely fun in Las Vegas, and I have really enjoyed her fashions this season. For Toya's fashion, so first of all, it appears that Toya's husband and she are drifting in different directions. Not saying that they're going to get a divorce, but I'm just saying sometimes as people, you can drift in different directions. You know what I'm saying? So somebody might want to pull pork sandwich and the other one wants some tofu, so or some jackfruit. But I feel that Toya and her husband are kind of like drifting in different directions. He wants to save money, she wants to spend it, which I'm so baffled. Other than them playing musical house, I'm baffled because Toya has this huge closet that is like 3,000 square feet, and I promise you me, and she really just can take a regular Atlanta walk-in with these. It's like it doesn't even have to be. If I were Toya, this is what I would do. I would find someone that's in college that's a fashion designer, and I would be their muse, and I would just give them the money for the fashions and everything, and I would just promote your name. You get free publicity, but go down to the Atlanta Art Fashion Institute, honey. Go meet one of them kids and have them work you over. Because when you're filming, you're at work. It's like when Janet Jackson's doing Rhythm Nation. She has her black cap on, 1814, tight jeans, waistcut black outfit, like a waistcut black jacket. You have to show up for work. Beyonce, bathing suit, glitter, sparks, heels, dancers. So Toya, I don't feel she shows up for work. Dr. Jackie this season has been really fun. Dr. Jackie, she's showing a different side of her. Let me find out Dr. Jackie is a what you call it? A disciplinarian. You let me find out that Dr. Jackie is walking around there with a Catwoman suit on and a whip in that big ass mansion she lives in. Okay. And then this episode, Dr. Jackie, she was extracting blood from their arms and spinning it and then putting it back in their woo woo. She said, "You'll thank me later." Now, when Simone did it, and Simone let them film everything, Simone let them film the process of Dr. Jackie, putting giving her a shot at her woo woo. And she was screaming. The other girls were outside that door. They were like, "Oh, we're not about to do this." Did you see Quad's face? Speaking of storyline, like I said, I don't feel that Simone has a strong storyline. I don't feel that Quad has a strong storyline. But even though I was rooting for Quad, I would honestly say I would much rather her storyline be dating or something like different levels of interests, going out on dates, going out on a stupid date, you know, uh, what do you call that? When the boat pull you and you up in the air, her, scared to get her hair wet and just, oh Lord Jesus, Jesus, please let me down, let me down. We want some entertainment. She is FaceTiming this baby. It's only so much entertainment this baby gonna do unless he gonna be standing up singing, like Michael Jackson. When when I had you, I treated you bad. Like if you gonna give me some kids that's 8 years old that's doing this, now we want some give me honey boo boo something. I'm just saying. Just like, hey, hey, how you doing? How you doing? So. Me and my nieces, we funnier than that. And I'm rooting for Quad. Love her to smithereens. Love her. She's always been my favorite one in the group. But we need some, you know, I just love Quad. Like, let us see your cooking show. Let us see you doing some business. It's not her fault. It's the producers. But let me tell you what we want to see. We want to see Quad trying to get her cooking show on the Food Network and how she's working on her second cookbook and shit like that. Appetizers by Quad. Just show us how to do 15 small dishes. Dish. That's what we want to see from Quad. I don't want to see her FaceTime that baby not another time, not another episode. More than redundant. I like lasagna, but I don't want to see it every day. Every time I see you, this is what we're showing. And also, like, we need more fun stuff. Like the Vegas trip it was cute. And then Toya attacked Dr. Jackie. Toya attacked Dr. Jackie, and Toya, she was like, these ladies be telling it like when Dr. Heavily, she said she can have whatever she wants from, Dr. Damon if she puts her mouth on it. I almost blacked out. I'm just like, what do you think Dr. Damon's colleagues are saying? I mean, he went to Case West Reserve. I'm not trying to be funny. He did not go to Tri-C. No tea, no shade. And you're in a certain genre of people when you have colleagues and not coworkers. He has colleagues. And Heavily is saying this stuff and it's mortifying to him. And then when he was talking about the example that he was given, he was talking about Heavenly, and everybody in the room thought so as well, except for Heavenly. So this is my thing. If he were undertoning her, I don't think that's cool. But he did check her in front of all those people. And I don't know. I don't know. Well, Heavenly, number one, she should have just. I think he and Heavenly, because he knows his wife, you know how. Okay, let me talk to you the way you need to be talked to. You know how when you're a child and you go to Target and your mother looks back in the rearview mirror and she says, listen, when we get in there, don't start picking up everything and running around and getting in between these racks and everything. You stand right on the side of me. Yes, ma'am. Okay. You hear me? Yes, ma'am. I'll let you if you're good, I will let you both have one toy apiece, but you have to be good. Yes, ma'am. So that's how Dr. Damon needs to talk to Heavenly before they go to any event. Forever and ever. I don't care if they go to a wedding reception today and a bar mitzvah tomorrow. You have to have the same talk again before we go into the bar mitzvah. Keep it fresh. That's a conversation you will have to keep reiterating. He would have to tell Heavenly, listen, when we go in here, don't you start no shit and so and so and so and so. And she'd be like, yes, daddy. Yeah. Because we need you to be quiet sometimes. That's the second time somebody told Heavenly that. Do you remember Buffy? Crawl before you ball. But Buffy said the same thing, the same way the Contessa said. I'm about tired of you. You shut the fuck up, Dr. Heavenly. I was like, oh my God. And I just wonder what the colleagues are thinking, like the husband's colleagues. And then who, like maybe they're in Atlanta and People think they're cool because they're on the show. They're rock stars, honey. Who knows? But are we borderline? I don't know. I, I don't know. All right, so let's get to Amila. I am really liking Amila, but I knew I would. I really like Amila. I love her husband because he is such a character in a good way. I think he's a character in a good way, meaning he's a character. He's funny. He's animated. He has a personality. You know, I think Toya and her husband didn't think his ass was funny, but I think I think he's pretty animated, and I think he's great for television. I think Amila is too. And it was so funny when Amila, she said, I want, Amila lost her nanny, and it's been hell for her trying to take care of these kids. She didn't know how hard it was taking care of these kids. She took this shit for granted until that nanny was like, I am out of here, bitch. You and your children have made me just want to retire. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I can't say that. I can't say that. But she probably said, Amila, you probably made me want to retire. And said her kids did, but Amila probably made that lady want to retire. Amila can be kind of, yeah. And so, and so Amila said, I need some help from my mom. I need my mom to come stay with us. My mom and my dad to come stay with us and help raise these kids. Her husband was like, look, I would rather have a root canal than have this happen. Are you out of your mind? And then she went out of town and he stayed with the kids. And so he did figure, it would be good to have someone they know to help raise the children. And so he was like, okay, we can invite your mom, but we have to have commandments in the house. Like, thou shall clean up after thyself, thou shall not bust in the room before knocking, and all of that. So when Amila's mom and dad got to their house, they said, there's going to be rules. Her mother said, for who? And then they said, for you, you can't, these are the rules. She looked at that, honey. She tore that up like you had given Janet Jackson a contract for like $500. Like, you want Janet to do 25 shows for $500. Amila's mother ripped that contract up so fast. The contract it had just turned it to dust. Honey, just like voodoo dust, honey. And after that, she just could not believe it. And then the husband, he said, but this is my house. He was like, these are the rules. We have to have rules. She said, parents don't have rules. She was like, I am older than you. I know more than you. Ooh. So then Amila had the audacity to bring her mother to a kind of like a vaginal rejuvenation party. It literally was a party to rejuvenate your woo woo. And so basically, Dr. Jackie was throwing this party and she had all this food. She had it catered and everything. And so she was like, we're going to pull blood from your arm, and then we're going to spin it and take whatever, and then we're going to re inject it into your woo, honey. It's a no for me. But I can almost black out thinking about this. Like, oh no. All these needles and injecting things, and and that's what freaks me out. Everybody's walking around here looking discombobulated like they bothered a beehive. Everybody's doing this and shit. They looking like pelicans, honey. I just don't know where to get a bucket of fish and just throw it. Just throw it at the kids. Everybody looking like a pelican. Hey, pelicans. Everybody walking around here looking like a pelican. Their zodiac sign is bust lip. But hey, if you like it, I love it. But I'm just saying. Pelican. All right, so listen, who have we not talked about? We talked about Heavenly. We talked about Simone, Toya. Oh, Dr. Contessa. I love Dr. Contessa. It's funny because she is such an achiever, of different things. I won't call her an overachiever because we gotta quit doing that. She loves new projects. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a degree or trying to be the Surgeon General, and now she's in this body competition thing. She loves pushing herself. So I'm not going to call her an overachiever. A lot of people call Dr. Contessa an overachiever. She's just driven. Why can't she just be driven? It's funny how when ladies are driven or have a big personality or just something big about them, there always has to be some kind of like almost negative connotation associated with their name or their personality. And sometimes they're just like for instance, who's the black mother of Hollywood? Oh my God, I can't remember her name. And she's like, yes, darling. And she's always kicking her leg. Jackie's back. But OMG, I cannot remember her name right now. Honey, it's that COVID brain. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Hold on. When people have big personalities, and so I don't want to call Dr. Contessa overachiever, but I will just say that, so now she's in this bodybuilding thing. She messed up her whole diet. They went to Vegas, honey. She ate everything that wasn't chained down. She drank everything that wasn't chained down. And so when she gets back, her trainer was like, girl, honey, what did you eat? And then he was like, but the thing about Contessa is she knew she was going to have that. That was like in her mind, that was the retirement for the food and the drinks. She did it one last hurrah. And now she's going to be disciplined. Her ass going to eat one deviled egg a day. You know she is. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's it. I think we talked about everyone. We talked about everyone. So comment below. Tell me who's your favorite Married to Medicine personality. Who's your Married to Medicine person? And would you take one person out? Who would you take out if you had to take someone out? And who I would take Toya out, and the reason why is I feel that Toya feels that she has to keep up with the Joneses as long as she's on the show, and I just feel that that's what this need to 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 have the biggest house in Atlanta and all of it's the show. So if I were them, honey, I would buy something, you know. Just purchase something that's, $1 million. It could be 1 million. That's fair. And leave the rest alone, honey. Leave the rest, you know, alone. And just because don't you want your husband to retire and don't you want to travel and, he doesn't need to work to pay debt. So don't you want to travel and, go places with your children? Honey, I don't have time for this. She shouldn't want her husband to work like that. So that's why I would say Toya. Um, would you want them to bring on another doctor? Or I would say bring on a dermatologist and or an RN, like the head of a hospital, like a RN, because RNs they bring the fire. My RNs they got slick mouths. Not all. I love RNs because they're pretty smart. And they 12 times out of 11 know more than a doctor. Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Not all the times. And I'm not saying that's the going thing, but sometimes they do. Because RNs, they're new and fresh, honey. And then if they've been doing it for a while, oh my God, honey, they could eat some barbecue Fritos while they're putting an IV drip in your arm, honey. They have the phone on one hand, they be eating some things, honey, and then putting that thing in your arm. Yeah, because I told Cheryl, honey, I wasn't coming on Sunday if Betty was there. Honey, keep your arm still. Yeah, I told Cheryl. No, no, not you. No, not you. You. And you. I told Betty I wasn't coming. Yeah. So RNs can do multitask, honey. They be writing their name on the board. Hi, my name is Cheryl, honey, and then they be giving you your medicine, and they be on to 3 other patients at the same time. And RNs, they be having like 8 patients, and so can you imagine having 8 people? Are patients, bitch? And they probably didn't think about that when they was in school. They was like, oh, I want to help somebody. Until you get to the hospital, honey. And then they be bluster hard, married to medicine. These RNs, honey, they be like, and then can you imagine having 10 to 12 patients in one shift? And you have to deal with their like family. And they be like, what is that you're putting in there? What is that you're doing? And I'm like, honey, if I told you the medicine, you wouldn't know what it was. What is that? It's strychnine, honey. Would you like some? Shit, you don't know what it is. All right, guys. Well, listen, comment below. If you like the video, comment below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time on Mario Ramon Review. Peace. God bless.